Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're all doing well and feeling fine. I hope that you can hear me. My name is Adrienne. Hi. I'm teaching today my Vinyasa flow class. We have a short practice today, somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes. We'll see how far we get. And you can use 2 blocks and a blanket or towel if you have them around. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can take 2 thick books, place them inside a fabric shopping bag, and then tie up the bag and use that for blocks. If you're coming to class today, please check in so that I can see that you've joined us, and also to check on the sound and the image to make sure that everything is fine. It's true that doing these online classes, sometimes that the internet doesn't continue for the entire class. So I've had the experience that sometimes the internet has stopped, the class has been interrupted. I keep going for a couple of seconds and then I realize, whoops, and then we have to start all over again. If that does happen, please check back in, come back in and finish the class if you can, yeah? So we're just gonna wait a couple of seconds for people to join, yeah? So if you're joining today, please check in with me so I can see that somebody's here and then I will start, okay? Let's see. Not a single rabbit. Okay. So please do check in if you're here. And what time is it? It's 2 minutes after 10. Oh, I do see that 6 people are watching. Okay, that's good. We're going to start. And we're going to start at the top of the mat with your 2 blocks. You can place them a little bit further away. We're going to start standing today. You can stand at the top of your mat, but I'm going to face the computer a bit. We're going to roll the shoulders a few times up and over, just to wake up your shoulder girdle. And take a few deep breaths. And then wiggle out your hips, wiggle out your head gently, bend your knees, start to move your pelvis around, shake out your wrists, give a little light little ha 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 ha, and let the weight of the world fall off your shoulders. And while you're bouncing there, I'm just going to check that the sound is good. Good morning, Marta. Hi. Okay, I guess the sound is good. If not, maybe somebody can call me on my phone. Okay, good. So standing tall now, you can separate your feet about hip width apart, open your toes wide, and just with your eyes open, rock a bit forward, back and forward on your toes, on the balls of your feet, and onto your heels. And then bring yourself into the middle of your feet, stretching out your toes. Really press your feet down into the ground to feel that grounding action, that stability in the feet and in the legs. And as you press your feet down, you're going to start to activate your legs strongly. Draw the bottom of your pelvic floor upward and inward so that from sideways, instead of having the tailbone back, the tailbone comes underneath you, the pelvic bones move a little bit forward, yeah? And the rib cage is nicely drawn back toward the middle of your back. And arms by your side. Start to circle your wrists around. You can bring your thumb to the middle of your palm, bring your fingers over, circle the wrists. And then you can bring your hands together, clasp your fingers, circle your wrists around like this a few times. Press your wrists forward, pressing fingers down, one hand over your palm, up and down. And then circle your arms, circle your wrists, and spread out your arms shoulder height. And slowly, slowly close your eyes. Draw your palms up toward the ceiling with your eyes closed, looking up. Bring your fingers together, press your palms together, and feel as if you're hanging from a rope from the ceiling. So you're going to drop the pelvis down and bring it into a nice long line, even on both sides of the hips and the front and back of the pelvis. And then bend your knees. And then we're going to draw the pelvis forward, curling the tailbone under. If you want to look at this, you can open your eyes if you don't know what I'm talking about. And as you inhale, you're going to take your pelvis back and make a little arch in the lower back. So exhale, curl your tailbone under, round your lower back. This is called tucking under. And inhale, bring your tailbone back. And exhale, curl your tailbone under. Knees are bent, knees over the middle of your toes. And exhale, inhale, arching back. One more time, curling under, and inhale, arching back. And then slowly start to move your hips around in a small circle. Your arms are still above your head, try not to lose them. They start to fall down. So you can think about drawing your upper arms by your ears and bring your head back. And then circle your pelvis the other way. Good. And then we're going to make a little ripple effect through the spine. So you can move your arms, just rolling through the spine. Nice feeling, like a ribbon. So the energy starts to move between your feet, through your legs, through your torso, to your arms, making a little wave. And then bring your arms by your side. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes. And we begin to follow the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. 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 Then gently close your mouth. Relax your tongue in your mouth. Relax your upper teeth away from your lower teeth. And begin to breathe in mindfully, in and out through your nose. Take your time to welcome your breath into your lungs. Take your time to slow down the breath and to deepen it. To find some peace and rest in the mind, in the heart, and in the body. See if you can imagine letting go of the outer muscles of your body, of your thighs, and feeling the inner muscles of your legs start to activate. As you draw up the bottom of the pelvic floor, draw your belly button back toward your spine, draw your chin slightly down, and activate the inner energy of your body. Not relying on outer muscles, but inner energy moving up from your feet, through the bottom of the pelvic floor, out through the crown of the head, and then recycling all the way back. Good. So standing at the top of the mat, slowly relax your hands down by your sides again. We're going to do a few sun salutations, variations. Inhale, lift your shoulders, roll them all the way back as you exhale. Look down toward your feet, parallel your feet. Inhale, lift both arms up, pointing your fingers toward the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, open your arms out to the side, and bring your fingertips down toward your shins. Relax your head down. Inhale, pressing hands into the shins, stretch your body long, open your shoulders, lifting your chest through your shoulders. Exhale, bend both knees, rolling up through the spine. Inhale, come all the way up, arms above your head again. Exhale, bend your knees. Reach your arms open out to the side, hands onto your shins, relax your head down. Inhale, stretching tailbones, sitting bones back, crown of the head forward. Exhale, bend your knees, roll up through your spine, lifting your arms by your sides, lifting your arms toward the sky, fingers together. And exhale, Samastitihi, hands in front of your heart. Inhale deeply. Find the connection between your heart and your hands. Exhale, your hands by your side, look down toward your toes. Inhale, open palms up toward the ceiling, pinkies leading forward toward the top of the mat. Exhale as you reach forward, bend your straight legs. You choose over your legs, hands on your shins or fingertips in line with your toes on the floor. Inhale, lift your head halfway. And exhale, bend your knees. Step your right leg back. Bring your right hand to the floor. You can use a block under your hand if you want. And stretch your left arm up toward the ceiling. Take a few breaths here, bringing the arms in one long, beautiful line, pressing into both feet, keeping your shoulders long so the shoulder blades move down the back and drawing in the bottom of the pelvic floor, drawing your belly back. Take one more breath here. And slowly bring your left hand down toward the floor. Bring your right knee down toward the floor. If you need a towel or a blanket, bring it under your knee. Inhale, lift both arms, look up toward the ceiling. Arms are separated, fingers reaching out on the diagonal of the room. And we drop the left hip down, draw your right hip forward, draw your belly in, draw your chest back, chin to your chest. Take one more breath and reach further back. And as you exhale, bring hands on either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under, stretch out your right leg. Come up on your fingertips, and you can use your blocks if you like. Hands on the blocks, stretch left leg back. Bring your head down, press right heel into the floor. Slowly lift your head, look at your left foot, lift the toes of your left foot off the floor, pressing into the balls of the feet, equally on the inside of your foot, and then lift your foot by pressing your heel down. So left heel is on the floor, stretching the whole back of the left leg. You can bend your knee slightly if you want. Take another deep breath here. And as you exhale, press the ball of the feet, the toes down, bend your left knee, maybe take your blocks away, hands on the floor, and then stretch your left leg back to your right, downward facing dog. In downward dog, bend your knees slightly, move your hips from side to side, giving a little wiggling shake. Very slow, very sensuous, mashing your toes a little bit into the floor gently, and moving your hips from side to side, rotating your heels and making a bit of room in the lower back and the hips. And slowly rise up on the balls of the feet and press your heels toward the floor. Roll your shoulder blades down your back and lift your head and look forward. Then exhale, draw your chin in slightly, bringing your ears in the same line with your upper arms. Inhale high on the balls of the feet, rolling through your spine to a high plank position and flexing into your heels. Take a deep breath here. Draw your big toes down into the floor. Press away from your hands, lifting your shoulders, lifting your neck out of your shoulders. Take one more breath, drawing the belly in, and then draw your chin into your chest. Bend your knees slightly, rolling through upper back, middle back, lower back, stretching back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet in a little closer toward your hands and press heels closer toward the floor. Bend your knees slightly if you want. Lift your hips up and back and press your feet closer to the floor. Deep feeling of grounding into hands and feet. Inhale, stretch your right leg slowly toward the ceiling, taking a long time to stretch through the toes, to stretch through the leg. We're almost at the maximum. Rise up on the ball of your left foot. Draw your right knee all the way into your forehead, and we stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We step the right foot in between the hands. Come up on your fingertips. You're going to frame your right leg with right hand, left hand. Draw your right upper arm over your right thigh and stretch into the front of the left leg. You take one more breath here. Exhale out. And as you inhale, bring your left foot to the right at the top of the mat, hands onto the shins or fingertips on the floor. Inhaling, coming up halfway. Exhaling, bringing your head down. So please make sure that you have that grounding feeling also in the hands, that they're either on your shins, on the fingers, or if you want to take your blocks, you bring your hands on your blocks. Take one more breath, round it over in Uttanasana with a long spine. As you exhale, draw your belly in toward the lower back, draw the bottom of the pelvic floor up, spread out toes. Find the inner heel and the outer heel of your foot. Feel the length in the spine, the length in the back of the legs. If you want, you can slightly bend your knees, spread your arms out to the side, lift your arms, look up toward the ceiling, and exhale, open your arms to the side, look down. Second side. Inhale, lift your arms, look up. Exhale, choose to either stretch over your legs, bent or straight legs, fingertips to the shins or the floor. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling, bending both knees, step your left leg back. Keep your left leg long. Either take a block or bring your hand on the floor. Left hand on the block. Inhale, stretch right arm up toward the ceiling. Make a long spine. Roll shoulder blades down the back. Looking up to your hand. If your neck hurts, you look down. Deep closed twist, so if you're pregnant, you won't be doing this. One more breath here. Drawing the right hip back. And then bring right hand to the floor. Take your block away, or you keep it there. Up to you. You can take the 2 blocks. I'm going to slowly bring left knee to the floor. Spread out your toes. We inhale, stretch both arms to the side, both arms to the ceiling, reaching in a long diagonal. Breathing into the chest, but drawing the rib cage back, pressing into both feet. Your right knee planted firmly over the middle of your right ankle. So not in front toward your toes and not too far behind. Good. Take your arms behind you. We didn't maybe do this on the other side, but we're going to bring the fingers together and stretch the heart up toward the ceiling. Open your shoulders. One more breath, and then lift your arms up. Reaching forward. You can bring your hands on the blocks or the floor. Stretch out your left leg. And slowly begin to stretch your right leg. You can take your blocks back further if you want. Up to you. Then we're going to drop your head down, chin into your chest. Press the left heel into the floor. Nice long stretch into the hamstrings. You can always bend your front knee. Yes, you don't want to strain in the front knee. Then lift the head, look forward toward your right foot. Lift the toes off the floor, press into the heel, lift the ball of the foot off the floor. So you're really pressing that heel forward, yeah? In a little preparation for Hanuman, for your split. And then slowly, deep breath in. Exhale, you press into the ball of the foot, the toes. You frame your hands around your right foot and step your right foot back to your left in downward facing dog. Wiggling again your hips from side to side. Moving your heels from side to side. Make room in the hips and the lower back. Exhaling out. Slowly bend your knees a little bit and walk your feet a little bit forward. Press your heels closer into the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, lift your head, look toward your hands. We rise up on the balls of the feet. Maybe you need to step your toes back, roll through the spine, and come to high plank. Stay here in high plank. I know it's everyone's favorite place. We're going to flex the heels, stand up really tall, draw the belly in. See that you don't lift the hips up or sink down in the hips. Yeah? You want to really see if you can bring your pelvis in a beautiful line. Energy moving toward your heels and out through the crown of the head. We take one more breath here. And bend your knees, lift your hips up and back, and come to downward facing dog. We inhale high on the balls of the feet, roll through to high plank again. Maybe I'm doing this a little differently. Then we're going to bring chin to the chest, rounding upper back, middle back, lower back, and pressing back downward facing dog. If you like, you can bring your big toes closer together. Walk your feet in slightly to bring your heels toward the floor. We're going to stretch left leg toward the ceiling. Roll your shoulder blades down your back first. Draw your ears in line with your upper arms. Deep breath in, stretching very slowly, slow motion, the left leg all the way up toward the ceiling, lifting up high, pointing through your toes. Bringing that right heel to the floor, very grounded in your 3 contact points, 2 hands, 1 leg, 1 foot. Then bend your left knee, rise high on the ball of your right foot, draw left knee into your forehead, and we stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We look forward, step left foot in between your hands, come onto your fingertips. And we press back into the right heel. So we're in a lunge. Now open the shoulders. We take one more deep breath here. Exhale out. And as you inhale, draw your right foot to your left at the top of the mat. Inhaling, come up halfway. Slide your hands if you like. Exhale, bring your head down. Bend your knees if you like. Inhale, lift your arms, look up toward the ceiling, draw your pelvis underneath you, bring your head back into the center, and then spread your arms to the side and look down. Bend the knees and stretch your tailbone straight back so you're not rounding your spine. Bring your hands onto your knees and roll your shoulders back. We're going to curl tailbone under, chin into the chest. Inhale and lengthen through your spine, almost a little arch. Exhale and round. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale and lengthen. Really see if you can let that snaky movement move through your spine with your deep breath. And one more time. Then we come back to a long spine, your Utkatasana, bending your knees as deeply as you can without putting pressure on the front of the kneecaps. Inhale, stretch your arms up and look to your hands. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, shoulder blades soft, down your back, and 1. You're going to reach the arms to the side again, stretch your legs and bring your head down, drawing your belly in. Inhale, lift your head, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, step right leg back. Hands on the floor, step left leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, high on the balls of the feet, rolling through to high plank. Stay in high plank. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, round upper back, middle back, upper back, lower back, press back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhaling through the spine, snaking to high plank. And exhaling, chin to the chest, come back, downward facing dog. Draw your big toes together, draw your feet a little closer in toward your hands, and press back down dog. Imagine the midline of your body. So from the crown of the head, moving through your throat, moving through your spine. Fill out the back of your rib cage. So you're going to draw your ribs back, expand your ribs. Don't let them sink toward the floor. Draw your belly in, lift those hips and sit bones toward the ceiling, press into the back of the legs. Good, inhale, slowly stretch your right leg toward the ceiling behind you. Keep your legs straight, keep your hips even, and bend your and point your right foot. Now we're going to bend the right knee. We're going to turn the right hip out to the side and press the left heel deeply into the floor as much as you can. For some of you, you might need to walk your hands in a little closer toward your left foot to get that heel down to the floor. You're going to open your knee out to the side, look toward your hands, stretch away, and then stretch your right leg out toward the ceiling with your hip open high. And then bring your hip back to parallel. High in the ball of the left foot, draw your right knee into your forehead. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We look forward, inhaling, stepping the right foot in between your hands, pressing your left heel back. You're going to walk your hands forward. You can use your blocks again if you want, and lift your left leg up, parallel hips. So closed hips and left foot flexing for a little bit of warrior 3 preparation. Slowly bend your right knee, walk your hands back to the mat, point your left toe, bring left toe to the floor. Turn left heel out and down into the floor, toes a little out to the side. Your right heel and your left heel do not have to be in the same line for me. Yeah, you're going to draw your right hip back with your right hand. You're going to stretch your left arm up toward the ceiling. And bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. You're going to look down at your right foot. You're going to stretch left arm up toward the ceiling. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Draw your ribs back in. And slowly turn your head and look up to your left hand. Yeah? So we've come to kind of a short Utthita Parshvakonasana. Looking up, looking up. Slowly, slowly, you're going to stretch the right leg. Bring your right hand down to your shin. You don't have to go all the way down to your toes. You're going to stretch up wherever your right hand is and lift your right hand. Be very free with the right hand. So it's keeping you up as your core. Yeah? Pelvic floor, your belly moving back. Looking up toward the ceiling, press into the feet, Trikonasana. Slowly going to reach your left arm back. Lift your right arm up. Come right in between both legs. And then relax your shoulders, open them, and bring your palms up toward the ceiling. So you have a chance to roll your shoulder blades down your back. See where your hips are. So give a little stirring in the pot again. And move your hips around in the other way. So your right foot is moving toward the front of the mat. Your left toes are turned slightly in. Yeah? Okay. We're going to slowly bend the right knee. See if you feel like you're reaching forward or back. And then bring your torso right into the middle. Looking over your right hand, draw your right heel forward underneath your right knee. And then feeling this opening of the thighs, take a deep breath in. When you exhale, you're going to reach all the way back to Sun Warrior. Try not to twist. So this would be twisting down. You want to really open this whole right side of your rib cage. So take your left hand, bring it to your right side of your rib cage. Breathe into your hand. Feel the ribs opening. Reach your right arm behind you. Maybe you look up to your right hand. Maybe if your neck hurts, you look down to your left foot. Slowly, slowly come back. Come back and stretch out your arm. Stretch your right leg again. Bend your right knee and windmill your left arm over your head. Bring your hands down. Bring your hip back down so your left heel is parallel again. Walk your hands forward again, lift your left leg up and flex your foot. Slowly bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor, and step your hands down around your right foot. Step your right foot back to your left. Downward facing dog. And move your hips around again. Relax your mouth. And come back to your down dog, drawing your big toes together, drawing your heels toward the floor, bringing your rib cage back, shoulder blades down the back, fill up the back of your ribs, lengthen through your tailbone. Inhale, stretch your left leg toward the ceiling. Draw your right heel toward the floor. Maybe you move your hands a little bit back. Bend your left knee, turn your left thigh out from the hip socket, stretch away from your hands. Keep your right knee over your right ankle so that you're not turning your standing leg in. Very important to keep that standing leg supported and straight. Actually, you can bend your knee a little bit if you need to, but really make sure you're not turning your knee in or out or twisting. And slowly stretch your left leg toward the ceiling with your hip wide open. Slowly bring your hip back down into parallel, pointing through your toes. Readjust yourself onto your right leg. And then bend your left knee again. Come up high on the ball of your right foot. Draw your left knee to your forehead. We stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the head. You step the left foot in between your hands. Come up on your fingertips. I'm going to walk forward till you bring your hands on the blocks. Lift your right leg up. Flex your right heel. Draw your right hip down. Maybe come up higher on your fingertips, feeling this preparation for Warrior 3. Deep breathing. And then bend the left knee, walk your hands backward, point your right toe, find the floor with your right foot. Lift your torso. We're going to turn the right heel down, toes going a little to the side. Make sure not to cross your heels. You're going to take your left hand to your left hip and draw it backwards. You're going to slowly stretch the right arm up toward the ceiling. Then we bring the left forearm over the left thigh, looking toward the knee. Open your right shoulders, drop your right shoulders, your both shoulders, and draw your shoulder blades down your back. Pressing into both feet, take one more deep breath, and then reach your right arm back, stretch your left arm forward, bring yourself into your Warrior 2, open your palms up toward the ceiling, drop this right hip down, bring your pelvis right in the middle, move your pelvis around. Yeah, feel how the pelvis can change its position. You can change its position. So sometimes we feel like, how do you do Warrior 2? How do I bring my body into Warrior 2? But more likely, how do we feel good in this position? How do we find it? By stretching the back leg, dropping this hip, feeling both hip bones on the same line, going to the side of the mat pretty much, turning out your thigh, and feeling very solid in between both legs. So not reaching forward, not reaching back. And in the middle of all of this, drawing up the bottom of your pelvic floor. So inhale here. Exhale and reach your left arm above your head. Take your right hand to the left side of your ribs and breathe into the rib cage. And either look up to your hand or look down at your back foot. And drop the shoulders. Breathing here. Expanding rib cage. Good. Slowly come back to the center. Stretch your left leg. Reaching. You're going to stretch left hand down. No weight in the left hand. Yeah? Stretching right arm up to the ceiling. And maybe I did this a little differently on the other side. That's okay. We come back to Trikonasana, drawing your hip in. And take one more breath. And actually what we did before is we bent the knee here, and then we stretched the leg. So that was the difference, coming from up to down. Okay, we're going to stretch the right arm over the head and windmill it down to the floor. You're going to lift your back heel again and flex your heel. And walk your hands back onto your blocks and lift your right leg up. Maybe lift a little bit higher again. Exhale, bend your front knee. Right toes to the floor, hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and stay in your down dog. Take a few more breaths. Good. Draw your feet together to the back of the mat. We're going to do one last thing. Inhaling, stretching right leg up. Draw right knee to your forehead. Stretch right foot toward the top of the mat. Lift your head. Going to cross your right hand over your left. Walk yourself to the side of the mat. So your toes are facing a little bit inward, pressing into the big toes. We come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, lift your head, come up. Exhale, bend your left knee. Keep your right foot on the floor. Stretch into the inside of your groin. Stretch your right arm up and slowly come down. Inhale, come up on both feet. Exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, stretch your left arm up and slowly come down. Inhale into center. If you like, you can take a block. Press your hands into the blocks. Bring yourself forward. Then bring your left hand to the block. Both legs are straight. Inhale, stretch right arm up. Open your chest, reaching up toward the ceiling. Take another breath. Exhale, come down. Replace left hand with the right. Inhale, stretch left arm up. Shoulder blades down the back. Press into pinky toe. Slowly, slowly come back. Good. We're going to heel toe your feet together. And then bend your knees. Going to come down on your knees. Open your knees wide and come to child's pose. So a wide child's pose, stretching out your arms in front of you, relaxing your head down. Take a few breaths here. That was a short practice for all of us, so you can always repeat those sun salutation variations again at your own pace. We're going to slowly, slowly come up on your hips, stretch your legs out in front of you, shake out your legs. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together. If you like, you can draw your feet all the way in toward your groins or keep them further out. Keeping them further out is more for the lower back. Drawing them in is more stretch for the groin. So you can choose what you like. Open shoulders, inhale, sitting up tall. Feel your sit bones, draw your belly in. Ah. And exhale as you keep the back long, reaching over your legs, relax your head down. Without bouncing, imagine that your knees are opening out to the side. Your chin is to your chest, crown of the head toward the floor. Take another breath. Let's see if you can keep yourself in the present moment. Keep yourself in your breath, enjoying how the breath feels in the body, this ability to breathe deeply, to let go of tension, to let go of yesterday, to let go of the future of the day ahead, whatever it holds for you, and to find your peace and quiet in the moment right now. Let's take a deep exhale out through the mouth. Slowly, on an inhale, roll up through your spine. Draw your knees together. Bring yourself to the middle of the mat. Bring your hands under your knees. Roll yourself down to the floor, knees into your chest. And you can give yourself a little massage on the lower back by drawing the knees in and circling the other way. And take one little half bridge so you can bring your block in between your thighs. If you like, walk your feet into your hands till you can touch heels with middle fingers. Stretch out your shoulders, stretch out your lower back by emptying out the belly downward. If you have a block in between your thighs, or even if you don't, imagine drawing the inner thighs toward each other. Keep your head always in the center, yeah? Take a deep breath in, fill up your chest. Exhale out, hold back on the floor. Inhale, press into hands and feet. Lift your hips, come up. Maybe walk your right shoulder under, left shoulder under, clasp your hands. Maybe walk your feet in a little closer. You want your knees over your ankles. You're going to breathe a few breaths here, lifting those hip bones toward the ceiling, relaxing the belly, keeping the head in the center. Give a little space around your neck, as if you had a tennis ball underneath your neck. Opening the shoulders, lifting the chest, maybe a little higher. You come up, and then exhale down. Take your block away. Bring your knees into your chest, round your lower back. Stretching arms out shoulder height to the side, palms facing up toward the ceiling. Drop your knees over to the right side with your knees above your hip joints. Spread out your lower leg. Stack up your legs one on top of the other. Take a breath into your left shoulder. One more. You can always do this for a lot longer time after class is over. And bring knees into the chest again. Twist over to the other side. Relax lower leg. Shoulder moves toward the floor. Breathe in your breath into the front of your chest, front of your shoulders. Relax your mouth. And then bring yourself back into the center. Hug your knees. And either you bring yourself to Shavasana, feet on the floor out to the outside of the mat with your knees falling together, or you stretch your legs to the corners of the mat, palms facing up toward the ceiling. Close your eyes, empty out your lungs, and relax your body in Shavasana. So let go of the muscles now. Let go of your hips. Both sides of your pelvis very equally heavy into the floor. Both shoulders heavy into the floor. Relax your chin so it's not poking up toward the ceiling. Give a little press into the back of your head down to the floor and then let it go. And then everywhere where your body is contacting the floor, give a little tense press down into the floor on an inhale and exhale, let go. 2 more times. Press your contact points into the floor. Exhale, let go. 1 more time. Contact points and let go. Give yourself a moment to watch the muscles melt away from the bones, to soften your breath. Let go of your monkey mind. Feel your heart expanding out to all the souls in the universe. Being grateful to yourself for continuing your yoga practice for whatever it does for you. Be grateful for the breath you have in your lungs. Be grateful for this life. You can stay there as long as you like. I'm going to slowly get up by drawing my knees into the chest. If you want to join me, you can. Rolling over to the right side. If you're pregnant, roll over to the left side. And slowly, if you want, come up to a seated position. And some of you would like to lay down a little bit longer on the floor, that's fine. Whether you're laying down or sitting up, you can bring one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. If you're sitting up, you can relax your head down, bow your head forward. If you're lying or sitting, same feeling of finding the heartbeat, listening to it, finding the breath in the belly. Namaste, everyone. Thank you all very much for joining me today. If you would like to repeat this class and do it again, you can always find it on the iFitness Facebook page, or you can find it on my Facebook page, Adrienne Altenhouse Yoga Facebook. Yes? So, practice is a daily thing. It's a process. We don't have to be perfect the first time around, as I greatly know. So even when teaching, I'm not perfect. You know that, yes? And when we're practicing, there's no perfection. There's only the energy, bringing energy to moving through the practice with the breath. And it changes day by day. Luckily for that. Namaste. If you would like to stay in Shavasana longer, please note that when I turn off this video, another video will start automatically, and I don't know which one it is on the iFitness Facebook page. So you might want to turn your whole computer off, or you might want to do the next class. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye. If you want to leave a message for me or ask any questions, always welcome. You can send me little hearts, and I cherish them. Okay, bye-bye.